folks, how's it going? Welcome to Guitar Daily. It's Nick Granville coming to you from Wellington, New Zealand. So it was a little bit of the Jamiroquai tune, Love Foolosophy. Cool tune. I really like that tune. It's got some interesting kind of chord changes, things, you know, sort of built off this, right? But then it's cool. Anyway, I just thought I'd play a little loop over that. I kind of thought what I discussed today is like one of the biggest mistakes I hear from a lot of beginner and intermediate players when it comes to playing funk music. There's two key ones, and as soon as you sort of pay more attention to these things, everything's going to get better with your playing. The first one, and the most important, is the sense of rhythm. I see so many beginner funk players who just aren't really focused in on really where the groove is, right? They might be playing something like that. You know, something like that, and I don't get the sense that they're really feeling where the beat is, right? And that's the key thing. Is it's like when I hear someone play, I want to subliminally kind of get a sense of their groove, like it's kind of hitting me in here in the chest. You know what I mean? It's like, and I know when it's right because I can't help but move to it. I'm moving my head like this, and you know, and I notice that when you get it right on gigs, that's what happens, right? I look out into the audience and I see the audience kind of grooving, and they don't really know that their head's moving to the music. The groove has got them, right? And that's something I hear with a lot of beginner players and intermediate players too. It's just not enough focus on the rhythm and the time element of it, right? So how do you work on it? Well, put a metronome on, put something on like that, and practice playing the groove, right, until you can get it to feel good with the click. And then do the same thing without the click and see if you can create the same feeling, groove, rhythm, feel about it without the click. And you see there, I just took like one chord and I kind of sat there for a while, and I'd put a click on like that and I just kind of go with it for a while until I'm really settled on it, right? And then try that idea without the click as well, and just like taking personal responsibility, right? The other thing that I found super useful too is to play along with tracks. So I played a lot of times to Love Foolosophy. That track, it's a great groove, and Rob's guitar playing on it's killer. Rob always sounds killer, but it's sort of you know, I play along to those sort of tracks and just sort of see if I can match what's going on in there. And that's one of the key things I think that at least has helped with my sense of rhythm. Two things, right? It's playing along to tracks and trying to like exactly copy someone's part. You know when you've got it right, because what happens is you almost disappear in there, right? It's like the two parts become one, and it sort of becomes, you know, unclear which is which. So that's the first thing I do. The second thing was doing a whole lot of sessions, because I'd hear myself back, right? I'd record something and I thought I was in the pocket, and then I hear it back and go, I'm not really sure about that. And so I had to go away and work on it, right? And I still work on it. So that's probably the thing I work on more than anything, is the sense of rhythm. So that would be it. That would be my quest to all beginner and intermediate players, is just focus more in on the time and the groove, and that'll take your funk playing to a whole nother level. The second thing that I see with a lot of beginner and intermediate players that's sort of holding them back is two bigger chords, right? Chords like this. To me, it's too much, right? If you check out Nile Rodgers, like the king of funk guitar, right? You don't hear him playing chords like this. If he does, it's more like bass note, top note. But I'm essentially going chord. It's not. And I hear a lot of beginner players doing that, right? Going. You know, I mean, that tune's a really good example of kind of minimalist, right? It's just. It's just two notes, right? Right, and I think that's what makes things funkier, because what I've noticed is the more notes you play, the less it stands out, right? It kind of is going to all get buried in there and get lost, and actually, to be honest, it just clutters things. As soon as you play just a couple of notes, or even just one note sometimes, it's all of a sudden, you'll notice the sound engineers will push it up when it comes to the mix. The whole thing, it kind of becomes the glue that holds it all together. That's just one note. I'm just holding a D. And I'm kind of hitting through a few. Right? And so that would be my thing, is if you're beginning or intermediate with this sort of stuff, is just try and play less notes, right? Try and find what's the minimal you can get down to. One note is minimal. Two notes is really good, because if you think about like Love Foolosophy that I talked about before, right? It's a D and an F sharp note, and the bass player's got the B note, so you get a B minor 7, or B minor I should just say, not B minor 7, out of just the root note from the bass plus the two notes of the guitar chord. It's really all you need, right, to get the point across. So two notes is your minimum if you want to make a chord sound. One note if you want to kind of get a rhythmic single note part going. Yeah, sometimes that's all you need, right? And then the next chord, I went to that, right, it's the 7th and the 3rd, minor 3rd, and then, right, that's a lot of what I do. Right, or a little melodic thing like that. Right, all those things are like really catchy for a reason. So the things I think about, right, is like I focus in on the rhythm first and foremost, because if that's not happening, nothing is happening. I try and reduce my guitar parts down to the absolute minimum. And the third thing I would say is try and think like little melodies and hooks, right? Like if you think about that. Right, David Williams was one of the kings of kind of coming up with that kind of the hooky kind of guitar parts. And then what you'll find is, like I said, that the sound man will push you up more in the mix, either recordings or live, and everybody will kind of enjoy it more. And those are the mistakes I hear a lot of beginners and intermediate players doing, is not paying enough attention to those three things. So rhythm, two bigger chords, and not thinking like hooky lines enough, right? Give it a try. Take that focus and see what it does to your playing. If you start focusing on these things and implementing it into your practice routine, what will happen is, if you do it over a period of time, it'll just become second nature to you, which it is for me now. When I do these things, I don't even think about it. And half the time I have to go, what do I actually do when I do this? And I have to kind of remind myself in order to be able to show other people in lessons or on YouTube like this or whatever. So I hope that's been useful. If it has, please like and subscribe. I post every day here on YouTube. I know, I can't believe I've got 230 odd videos or whatever it is. Can't believe that I managed to post every day, even while I had We Will Rock You on, which was 7 shows a week and 2 shows on a Saturday. But I pre-recorded Saturday's one on a Friday so that I could roll that out. But I can't believe I managed to do that the whole way through that. But I got some cool stuff coming up that I've going to show you guys. There's some new guitars coming. There's a new FR I've got in to check out, and I'll be showing you guys all of this very soon. So please like and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.